there'd be 5 or 6 following him up to the.
Got your recording there, Andy.
Just take one.
This is the how-to part of the Alabama rig.
When you get these lures, they'll come in a tube and then have a written description on how to get your rig out with these flexible arms. There's 2 ways that I fish. What the first thing you want to do is you want to take the 2 closest wires to the top. What you can do, just slide your finger down. And what you want to do when you bend these, depending on what kind of lure or bait you put on these, you want to try to keep them as close together as you can. The further you spread them apart, seems like the fewer strikes you'll get. Then you just simply reverse to the other side, slide your fingers down, and bend them out. The middle wire should be just a little longer than your other 2 wires. And you may have a little residual plastic toward the back or on some of the arms, but that just, you can rub it or just cast it, it'll come right off. A number of lures that I use on these, you can use it if you're fishing a lot of cover. Just get you weighted hooks with a 5-inch swim bait, and you know they come in a variety of sizes, colors. Or if you're not fishing where it's a lot of structure, just go with the 1/8 head of the 5/0 hook. And I will have these hooks and heads because this is a heavy wire mustad hook with a 1/8 head, and those are just practically impossible to come by. Grubs, this is 5-inch grubs, work real well. Then you can also rig them weedless also. It just depends on how much structure or how you prefer to fish. Then you got the smaller swim baits. They work, all these work real good. The second way that I do these, if you want to fish things like small finesse worms or lizards or whatnot, I do in a horizontal, where you just take the wires and bend them. Take the 2 closest to one side. Then you just reverse, same principle as other, just reverse sides on it. Take the 2 wires as closest to it, and you can bring them on out like so. And you can either fish that with lead, or maybe just put 1 lead in the middle and just put a hook your lizards or worms up, just Texas rig, just Texas style like you would. But you just depending on how deep you're fishing, varies on how much you know that you might want to take a shaky head, say 1/2 ounce, and just use these without any lead. Works real well also. Top water, you can take 5 frogs or 5 of anything really in a plastic side, the swimming frogs, cane toads or anything like that, and works real well on top. One thing I found with this is you'll catch a lot more multiple fish on something like this. Instead of that 1 bite, you get, especially if you're a tournament fisherman, that 1 more bite you could have got out of 1 scoop, I guarantee you'll get the more bites in one, as far as catching up to 3 fish at a time. This is real similar to what way you want to spread your flexible arms out. Like I said earlier, if you're using real small baits, get them a little closer together. Seems to get more strikes. The horizontal one should look like this, and you can fish basically anything on these. I mean, I've tried what I like, and some things you may prefer that I don't, but that's the way the horizontal rig should work, and that works great for if you're going to fish it on the bottom, or if you want to put 5 top water baits on it, works fine. This approximately weighs a little less than 3/16 of an ounce, like what you see. Okay, I just got an example here. You can use multiple plastics, like I mentioned earlier. If you're just fishing shallower water, this will work. Just the weight of the baits, the hooks, and the rig itself will be enough. But if you want to get deeper, what I like to do is just take it like a 1/2 ounce lead head and put on this one, and just leave these 4 rigged like they are. Works real good. And you, of course, if you want to use the top water plastics, I rig them just like what these are. Okay, this radius tight. This is what it should look like. Well, these size baits, these are 3.5 inch swim baits. And actually, you could probably close it up a little bit more, just as long as when you're casting it, that they don't get together. Is really the setting that you want. If you get them, you can get them further apart, but it seems like the closer the group runs, the more strikes and more fish you'll catch.